I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin.
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah. I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. For years, the elite operated with impunity, flaunting their perversions in plain sight, daring the world to call them out. They mocked morality, disguised themselves as philanthropists, and counted on silence. Hollywood elites like Kevin Spacey were frequent flyers on the infamous Lolita Express. And let's be clear, everyone in the industry knew. In Los Angeles, it was an open secret. Whispers at parties, rumors on sets, people knew what was happening, and they looked the other way.
Early on, I was propositioned to my first lunch with my new bosses at Warner Brothers. They took me to a restaurant in West Hollywood, very gay restaurant, and there was Kevin Spacey. And this was what I experienced, Kevin Spacey in a booth across from us with what looked like a 14 or 15-year-old kid in his lap. And I was just naive, fresh off the boat from Texas. And I was like, is this a gay restaurant, guys? You know, because it seems like that's a child over there in Kaiser Soze's lap.
Rat on your pop, and Kaiser Soze will get you. And no one ever really believes.
I didn't know Kevin Spacey's name at that point. And
is Kaiser Soze.
yeah.
Like, where are we?
Yeah, I mean,
like, what's happening here?
Yeah, and he was kissing on his neck. It was disgusting. I mean, it was just, it made me sick. And that's where, and then later I was propositioned for a big role on a TV show that would change my life. And I could do movies after that. And I made it to the final cut, and it was between me and the guy that got it. And they said, we just want to F you. And you will never be in want. It was like, it was Jesus in the desert. Amazing. Being, propositioned, and you could do movies, you could do.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
But behind closed doors, it was far worse than anybody imagined. Gates and Epstein weren't just dabbling in science, they were leading the charge in one of the most dangerous experiments in human history, human cloning. According to multiple sources, including Maxwell herself, they were directly involved in the first successful cloning of a human being in a private lab in the Bahamas back in 2002. And it didn't stop there. Maxwell now admits, since that breakthrough, thousands of cloned children have been created, raised in secrecy, used for trafficking, experimentation, and worse. Some were harvested for adrenochrome, others were broken, and all of them were hidden until now.
I'm your insurance policy. God.
Juliette Bryant is one of the last Epstein survivors still breathing, and what she's revealing now, they do not want getting out.
My name is Juliette Bryant. I was kidnapped by Jeffrey Epstein from Africa. I was supposed to be a model for Victoria's Secret in New York. Instead, I was kidnapped to the island. A lot of frightening things happened there. They don't want the victims speaking out in the media.
She wasn't just trafficked. She was moved from Epstein's island to his private lab in New Mexico. There, she says she woke up paralyzed, naked, on a steel table, hazmat suits around her, no memory, just fear. And here's what's f***ed. At that exact time, on an island in the Bahamas, a company called Clonaid claimed they successfully cloned the first human baby. Her name? Eve. It's not a theory. That happened. December 2002. So while Juliette was being trafficked, Epstein was deep in cloning, transhumanism, and eugenics. This wasn't just sex crimes. This was a scientific black site run by a monster. She says he shapeshifted in front of her.
Epstein shapeshifted in front of me. It's very hard to understand if you haven't seen it, but I saw it. It was like a weird hologram, and it had like big black eyes.
His form flickered like a hologram. Horns grew from his head. His eyes turned pitch black. Huge, alien, soulless. She didn't see a man. She saw something reptilian.
I think they were taking our eggs. They had the butterfly trust. The human hips are shaped like a butterfly. So if they were taking our eggs, it would make sense. It connects the dots of the butterfly trust.
And the other survivors? Most of them are dead, like Virginia, Carolyn, and Juliette. She's still here. She's still warning us. This is a spiritual war, but nobody ever said the battles weren't going to be physical.
Oh!
If you've been paying attention to the World Economic Forum in recent years, you'll already know the elite see most of humanity as disposable, useless eaters, obsolete. And in their eyes, we're scheduled for extinction very soon. The transhumanist agenda isn't about progress, it's about replacement. Replacing real humans with robots, clones, and digital slaves. Uploading our consciousness not to free us, but to train AI to become the new master, while changing humanity out of sight into something that serves the elite, as Peter Thiel recently admitted.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would,
this is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit
Should
in this.
the human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also would I also would like us to radically solve these problems. This radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. And there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or I don't know, transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross dresses. And a transsexual is someone where you change your, I don't know, penis into a vagina. And we can then debate how well those surgeries work. But we want more transformation than that. The critique is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And okay, we want more than cross-dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body.
And Bill Gates, he's been pushing this vision for years, dressed up as philanthropy. His obsession with depopulation is nothing new. It's modern-day eugenics rebranded as transhumanism. At its core, it's not about saving the world, it's about redesigning it without us. Gates' vision was so dark, so twisted, that even certified villains like Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell, who had no problem rubbing shoulders with Epstein, drew the line when it came to his obsession with cloning and breeding unregistered human babies. In fact, President Clinton quietly banned human cloning back in 1997, right after learning what Gates and Epstein were really up to behind the scenes. When even the usual suspects start backing away, you know the agenda goes beyond the pale, as Juliet Bryant explains.
Were they taking our eggs? Virginia Gifford said that they wanted to take a baby from her.
Your baby, but it would really be our baby, and we would have you sign a document that says.
Clonade, very nearby in the Bahamas, made the first baby Eve in 2002, the same year I was taken there. Clinton banned funds being used for human cloning in 1997, 1 year after Dolly the sheep was cloned in 1996.
Cloning and baby farms were all the rage in the late 90s and early 2000s, as the elite operated safe in the knowledge that the public had no idea what they were doing. Hollywood actors, directors, and even Oprah Winfrey herself were involved, according to Bryant.
I met Michael Bay, who made The Island, the movie about cloning there. I also met many scientists. As we all know, Oprah visited the island. Oprah, who was friends with John of God, who ran a baby farm.
Bryant isn't staying silent, and she's got a defined message for anybody still claiming that there's no Epstein lists, that Ghislaine Maxwell trafficked children to no one, and that it's all just a giant conspiracy. Her message is simple: follow the money. If there was nothing to see here, why did JP Morgan pay out hundreds of millions of dollars to Epstein's victims? Why is Epstein's account still moving millions, years after his so-called suicide? And why was Bryant herself quietly awarded two separate settlements, one for $1 million and another for $900,000? The paper trail doesn't lie, and the deeper you dig, the darker it gets.
Why did JP Morgan have to pay $290 million to the victims? And also, why was there $1 billion worth of human trafficking transactions found between Epstein and JP Morgan's accounts?
Epstein's Butterfly Trust, quietly funded by Bill Gates and fueled by his obsession with cloning and eugenics, may be the key that finally ties it all together. The bizarre experiments, the missing children, the secret labs in the Bahamas, the settlements nobody can explain. and the same names showing up again and again on flight logs, in foundations, and behind closed doors. Follow the Butterfly Trust and you start to see the full picture. Epstein wasn't acting alone. He was part of something much bigger, an elite engineered blueprint for a post-human future.
I've been trying to work out the Butterfly Trust for a few years now. Recently I realized the human hips are shaped like a butterfly. So if they were taking our eggs, it would make sense. It connects the dots of the Butterfly Trust.
According to Maxwell, many of the thousands of cloned children are already dead, used, abused, and discarded by the elite like broken toys. But others? They're still out there, alive, hidden in plain sight, giving new identities, new backstories, and walking among us. And most will never know where they came from. As Kaiser Soze said, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And that's exactly how the elite have operated, hiding their crimes in plain sight, wrapping their horrors in philanthropy, science, and celebrity. But the illusion is cracking, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends and family about us, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. We can't do it without you.